Okay, cool. So I hope I'm live and please respond. Please tell me if I'm live so that I get to know that everything is working fine. So this is the session on which we are trying to understand the input attribute, right? I think just now 8 to 9:15 p.m. we have understood the session of HTML forms where we have seen some tags and we have understood how those tags are working, right? So now we are in our HTML input attribute, and why it is called as input attribute, you have to think. Input is the tag, and what are the different attributes of input? That's what we are going to learn here, right? So this is all about that session. And if you guys are new here, then let me introduce myself, and also let me introduce what is all about this session, what is going on. So there's a playlist which is going on here, and we're trying to put all the front-end development content here for free. So if you go to CodeBeyond channel in the playlist, you can find all the videos where we have explained about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I am taking currently HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and later on by November, we'll start with frameworks and libraries. So we have already halfway through, and we have understood how these things work. So let's get started and let's understand what is the timings. The timings for JavaScript is 4 to 5 p.m. and HTML CSS is coming at 8 to 10:15. Okay. So this session also will try to cover it till 10:20 or till 10:22, and then we'll complete this, right? So about me, my name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I have also worked as a content strategist, research analyst, subject matter expert in most of the edtech companies. And I have 3+ years of teaching experience. I've trained graduates and corporate employees, and I've trained more than 30K students till now. It is increasing day by day. And subjects which I take is mostly into full stack development, and I do take sessions on front-end development, languages, backend, and database also. And I also do take tips and tricks and tell you and guide you how you can crack the interview, right? And one very important thing and very interesting news is that you can use my code RIT10 to get a free Relevel sample test paper, right? So if you know what is Relevel, you must be knowing what I'm trying to say. You have to give an exam, you have to give a test in Relevel while you're registering. So to get to prepare for that test, this sample test paper will help you a lot, right? And you can get it for free. You have to just use the coupon RIT10, correct? So do not forget to use that. Now, if you don't know what is Relevel, let me tell you about this. Now, many of your students, many of the students who are watching this session, you must be from maybe, tier 3 college, or maybe some kind of college where MSc companies are not coming to hire you or interview you, right? And you have applied to 50-60 companies, but you're not getting calls from them. Maybe because of your marks, maybe because of your knowledge, maybe because of your degree, maybe because of your college, maybe because of your connections, right? So here by Relevel, what do we do is we do not focus on what is your degree. Maybe it's BTech, BSc, BCom, whatever. If you have the skill, you will get a job. You should get a job, right? So this is India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs and on the basis of just skill and talent. What you have to do and what benefits you'll get, you have to give a free test. And this was the test which I was talking about. This test will be of 1,000 marks. You have to score more than 700 to pass this test. And if you score more than 700, what will happen? You will get a profile of yours, which will be distributed to top MNCs, and they will call you, they'll interview, and then you can get hired, right? So they are not going to ask you which college are you from, what you have done, nothing. It's just your skill and talent. So 50+ companies are already included with us, with Relevel, top startups and unicorns, and 1,000+ job positions are always available for business development, front development, and backend development. How to register yourself in this particular Relevel platform? What you have to do, if you click on the description of this particular video, you can find the link. Click on that link of relevel.com and go and sign up. You can give your mobile number and OTP will come. After that, you have to register yourself. How you gonna register? You have to just choose the test which you want to give. So select the test of your choice and then book a slot when you want to give the Relevel test. Slots are limited, so I just to you to book it fast. Okay. And once you book it, after that, you have to create a neat video resume and click on submit. That's how you will confirm your slots for the Relevel test, and that's how your registration will be successful. Do not forget to use the code RIT10 so that you get a free test sample paper, and you can get to know by solving those test papers that what kind of question will be asked in the test, right? So all the best for this. If you have already registered, if you have not done, do not waste time. Go ahead and select the date when you want to give the test, register yourself. If you're not ready for the test, then also don't worry, all the playlist is going on for free, so you can watch these free contents and you can learn, you can upskill yourself, and then when you're ready, use the code, get the test paper, solve it, and then register yourself. Cool. So also we have the Telegram channel link in the description given below. You can click on it, join the channel, because you will get notified when I'm coming live, at what time. Maybe there is some problem and 15 minutes late I'm coming. All those things will be given there in that channel, right? Please, I don't have to say this again and again. You have to subscribe the channel. You have to hit like, and also please hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications in YouTube as well. Let's get started with today's video, which is on input attribute. So input attribute is also the part of forms tag, right? It's just that till now, which was the session of 8 to 9, we have understood about our tags which we use, right? But still there are some things which we have not understood, and those are input attributes, which is also called as form attributes, right? So there are so many attributes in forms which we should use, and you have also seen that ID, name, value, type, right? There are so many attributes. Still there are some more. So what we are going to do is we are going to understand those attributes, and we are going to see how we can create such programs. So let me just open my Visual Studio Code. I hope you can see the Visual Studio Code, and I think this is what I was working upon, right? So let me open the browser also. Let me show you this screen. So you can see here that we were working on this and we got the data list, right? If I save the code again, you can select any options and you can click on it. You can choose the option. That was data list for you, right? So let's understand what else we have to do here, right? So let's see. We have understood attributes. In attributes, what all things we have understood? Let's see. We have understood type text, right? We have understood type radio. We have understood type checkbox. You can see here all of these are written: type text, type radio, type checkbox, right? And what else? We have also seen type submit, which is here, right? Now let's understand what different kind of types also do we have. So when we are writing here first name and last name, don't you think we also need to have password, right? So what for password, how we will do it? Let's understand. So here I'm just going to paste one code. Okay, have a look what I'm writing. Let me close this because that's not required, because everything I'm going to do here. So here what I'm going to do, let's say I'm putting here username. Okay, because user should give the username. So I'm just putting that, and here I'm going to put uname, because the for is uname, so ID will also be uname. Type equal to text, name equal to, let's say, username. Value I am not going to give anything, okay, because it's the username. So I'll just give like this. And after username, I'll give the password. This kind of forms you must have seen in many of the websites, right? If you have any questions, please do let me know. Please say hi. I can see my live chat is totally empty. That's very boring. Please say hi, or at least greet me something. If you don't want to say anything, if you're very shy, then please just give a thumbs up. Okay, because the live chat is really very, I don't know even how many people are watching right now. Okay, so please let me know who all are watching. Renuka, all of my students who are here already. Amit, I remember some names, so please give me a hi. Okay, cool. Let's get going. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give here the password. Don't worry, I'm going to use the attribute. I'm going to use the password attribute. But first of all, let me show you what is this basically, what I'm trying to show here. Okay, so I've written everything, right? Everything is perfect now. And let's go back to my browser and let's understand what is happening in the browser, right? So this is my browser. Let me save the code, and I think above you can see username and password, right? So I can write username, let's say something, password also, let's say something, but password can be seen here, right? In many of the browsers, you must have seen that password is never visible because passwords are very important thing for your website and you don't want to show it to others. So how can I hide it? How those small dots are coming when somebody is putting the password, right? Let's understand that. So what do they use is, basically this is not a text format. I don't want it to come appear as a text format. I want it to appear as a password, right? So that's what you have to write here. Now if I save this, and my page will always reload. So let's go back and have a look here what is happening. So my username, and if I write my password, now it is not visible, right? So this is what is my another type, which is password, right? Try to use it with me. Do not wait. Try to use it with me. Cool. So this was all about password. Let's move ahead. We have already understood submit, so we are not going to see this again. Let's understand what is one button which I want to show you. So let's say that before this, I'm going to just put one more BR here, and above this I'm just going to write input, okay, and type equal to, see, already you can see how many in type values we have. We have button. I've already told you what is button. Checkbox I've told you. Color I'm going to show you. Date, date time local, email, file, hidden, month, number. These all are different values. Right now what I want to show you is reset. So let's understand what is reset. Reset, by the name you can understand what it's gonna do. It's gonna reset all my values. But here you don't have to write anything, okay? Let's understand why I'm not writing anything. Input is already a self-closing tag, right? So it is an empty tag. It's not gonna do anything. Let's save this and let's see my output. So if you see here, the reset button is already coming, but have a look. I've not written anything. I've just written type equal to reset. So remember this thing very clearly. When you're writing something in the type, you do not have to mention explicitly that thing. Type equal to submit. Have I written that it should be a submit button? No, I've just written input type submit and the submit button is coming there. Same way the reset button is also working. But do you remember how I wrote the button tag? Or when I wrote input type equal to button? So when I write input type equal to button, I have to mention that it's a submit. So I have to write submit. But here, am I writing anywhere submit? The white color thing, no, right? So by the type itself, by the type attribute itself, it's giving me everything, correct? That's what it is, the reset is. Now let me show you how this works. Suppose if I'm giving username, I've given a password, I've chosen some things. I have chosen Amazon here. I've written some things here, written some things. Okay. But now I understood that, okay, I've written some details, something wrong. All the details are wrong. I'm going to reset it. All the details are gone. Right? So that's what is type equal to reset. Fine. No problem. One more thing I wanted to show you here. One very interesting fact I think I have not shown you. It's a very cool thing because just now I got to remember it. So I'll show you right away. Okay. Here, let's say in my input, I have an attribute which is called as required, right? And this required, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in my username and in my password. Okay. What will happen? Let's understand. So if I show you my browser right now, I've not saved it. I have not saved the program. If I show you my particular website right now, if I click on click me, this is reloading. The page is reloading. Can you observe? The page is reloading, right? But when I save this program, when I have written required, right? Now let's click me. What is it saying? It's saying in the username that you have to fill out this field. So when you write required, that means it is required. It's important that you have to fill this particular block. You can't keep it empty. So I have to fill this block. I can again show you this. Click me and it's giving me fill out the field. I'm filling out this. Now that I've filled out username and password, now if I click me, it's gonna reload my page. So my page is getting saved, correct? But Why is it not telling me here or here or here that these fields are required? Because in those I have not written the field is required, right? So make sure that whenever you are creating a web page, just like a login form or registration form, you do not want some things to be empty, right? You must have understood by asterisks, right? Whenever you fill a form, a college form or something, you must have seen that some of the forms, some of the input fields are marked asterisk, and it is written that all fields are mandatory. The asterisk one, the star one, right? So don't put stars, but that just use required here. When you use required, it's gonna not get submitted, but it's gonna tell you that you have to fill the field, right? So that's what is your another attribute which is required. Hi Jitender, I hope you guys are understanding till now, and I hope till here you've understood many of the things. You can see how much long code we have written, right? We have understood a lot of things in forms. There are so many attributes more. We are going to understand all of them, but slowly we'll do it. Okay. So let's understand another thing. So reset we have already done. Radio you have already seen. Checkbox you have already seen. Button we have already seen. Let's understand what is color. So let's say after choose the language, I'm going to just put here okay. I'm just going to put here one label, right? And in this label I'm going to just give for, I'm going to give here fab color, okay? And I'm going to close this. I'm going to write here select or not select, choose your favorite color. Okay, this is what I've written. Now this is only the label, and when I have given for, that means there should be some other tag where id attribute should also be there, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to use input because we are understanding input attributes, and I'm going to give here type equal to color. So what this color will do, I'll give you an example what this will do, but first let me complete this, otherwise it's not gonna work. ID, and also I'm going to give your name. Why name? Because whatever color you will choose, the value should be saved inside with this name, which is fab color. Okay, so let me go back to my browser and let me show you what is basically happening. Let me save this program, and you can see here it is saying choose your favorite color, and it's giving me a black box kind of thing, right? So if I click on it, it's giving me the whole property how you can choose whatever color you want. So if I choose, let's say if I'm choosing this color, right, I've just selected that. Let me just put something here, let me just put something here, and click me. Now you can see here what's going to happen. Last name, username, you're getting password. After password, there's a color, right? So have a look. Can you see the color? And can you see the number? It's written 23 D71919, right? So that's the color name what I have chosen. The red color which I have chosen, that's the value. So it can be an hexadecimal value, it can be any value, and it is saving it in my backend. So that's how it is getting saved. Okay. I think this is really small, so let me make it a little bit bigger so that you can see everything. Cool. So that was all about color. Let's move ahead and let's see what is next. So now after color, what I'm going to do, where is my color? So after color, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use date. Okay, and let me show you how this attribute is used. I can use here directly input. I can use here type equal to date. Okay, but I have to show the dates. I have to write something else. So what I'm going to do, one second. I'll write here label. I'll give here for, and to the for I'll write here, let's say joining date. Okay, joining date. This is my for. I'm going to put here joining date, just this much. And in the input, I'm going to give type and also ID and the name. So in the ID, it will go joining, and in the name, it will go joining date. Cool. I hope you have understood this. Let's close this. So input, it should not be getting closed. So let's see my browser. Going to my browser, saving the code, and you can see here that it is telling me joining date. So there's a date pattern here, and using which you can select whatever date you want. Either you can write it, or you can select the calendar. You will have the day, you will have the year, you'll have the month, everything. So you can choose anything. Okay, this is how the date is given, right? Next, any questions? Still here, any questions? Anything which you have not understood, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the next one. We'll also understand in date how to change some of the values. Okay, so we'll try to see how we can change this. Fine. So here what we'll do is, let's say that I have put in here the date, right? Now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Okay. I'm not going to write here, let's say joining itself. Let's say joining 1. Okay. And here I'm just going to write enter a date before, let's say 1980 0101. Cool. This is what I have written, and I can give here the maximum and the minimum date. So let's say the maximum date. So I'm filtering. So the maximum date which I want to give here is, let's say 1979. Okay. And then the last month will be 12 and the last day will be 31. Okay. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser. Let's understand what is happening. If I go back to my browser, I have one particular column, but if you look at this calendar and if I open this, you will observe that I have till 1979. After that, I do not have any option to select. So before 1979, I have everything, but after 1979, there is nothing. So the maximum limit what I was given is 31 December 1979. That's the maximum which I have given. That's why this calendar is only showing me till that time. Now suppose that I want to write it for till today, right? So what I'll do, I'll open this. I'll make a next one and okay. So what I can do there is I can just write for today's date. So maybe I'll write here 22 10 2021, so that nobody can choose the dates beyond today's date. Okay, nobody can choose that. And here I'll write enter a date before today's date, right? Here what I'm going to do, enter a date after let's say I want to have 1 year of gap. So 2020 10 22. So enter date after, that means in 1 year of period of time, in 1 year whatever date you can choose, you have to choose that. So I'm going to put here minimum, right? And the minimum value what I'm going to give here is let's say 2020 10 22 I have given here. That means I should give here 23. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser and let's check out. So first of all, we'll understand the max one. Okay, the max one, which is this one. Is that clear or not? So max one is giving me a date till 22 October 2021. If you can see, after that I cannot select. So above that, I can select anything. And here what is happening, you can see here 31st October 2021. But if you look at this particular thing, okay, 2020, I can choose October. So from 2020, I can choose till 2021. Later on, all the years also I can choose. But the day from where it is starting is 2020 October, which is 23rd October. That's what I've given the minimum value here. You can see 23rd October 2020. So from where it starts, from where I can give the value, that's what it is. Cool. So this is all about date. Any questions? Guys, if you have any questions, please put it down. If you do not have any questions, if you are understanding everything, give me a victory or give me a thumbs up, give me a smiley, give me a dab, anything. Just put anything in your live chat. I'm just gonna wait and I'm just gonna watch the live chat for 2 minutes. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I'm just taking a break from this form tag. So if you have any questions, if anything personally you want to ask, if anything from your college, any problems you're facing, or in the project, yesterday's project which you have worked upon, in that project, if you're facing some problem, then please ask me that. I hope you guys have done that project which I've done yesterday. And if you have not watched the project yesterday one, please go ahead and watch it. So what is open source? How to get started? So open source is basically how you can contribute to the community. Okay, you can find this open source anywhere in the Google, right? There is all the companies have their open source. You can go there and whatever projects you have worked upon, you can go there and put it there. Just like Stack Overflow, if you have any questions, you ask it there, right? In GitHub, you put all your projects, right? The same way, open source is something where you can get all the tutorials, and you can also, if you have designed something new, you can put it there. It's an open source. Again, this open source is also some more meanings are there for open source. Just like Java or any programming language, those are also open source programming languages. So there are two meanings. Okay, so I don't know which one you are asking. Or programming languages are also called as open source. Why those are called as open source? Because those are free. So something which is free is called as open source. Cool. Any questions? Thank you, Renuka, for the thumbs up. Let's move ahead and let's learn some more input types. Okay. Now, the next one, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put something related to date itself, but this will be date time local. Okay. So just gonna copy this so that I don't have to write it again. I hope you can understand where the codes, what all codes I'm writing here, right? So in this, for what I'm going to write, I'm going to just write here date time. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give here date time local. Okay, and then I'm going to give here ID, the same ID, that is date time. This ID or for can be anything. I am just writing date time. You can write anything else. And this I'm going to write time, just time. Okay, minimum I'll remove because I don't need this. This is not a date one. So I'm gonna just use this. So what I've done, the only change what I've done is here is date time local, right? And here I'm going to write date and time. Cool. This is what I've written, date time local attribute. You have to understand this. So let's open my browser and let's understand what is happening. So if I save this, you'll see another date time is there, but this time this particular box is a little bit bigger. Why is it bigger? Because it's gonna give me the time also. So the name suggests date and time. That's what it is. You can choose the date from here and you can choose the time from here. Cool. So that's what is my date time. Okay. The next is email. So after username or before your username, you should be asking the user about their email ID, right? So that also you can write here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here and to this foreign ID, I'll keep it same. So I'll keep it email. This ID also I'll keep it email. And the name also I'll keep it email. And the value I'm not going to give anything. And here in the text, I'm going to write email. Let's say ID. Cool. This is what I've written. The type is text only. I've not changed it. The type is text only. So let's observe what is happening in my browser. Obviously, you will get one email, right? So you're getting here email ID. Now let's say that I'm just putting a random ID. I'm not even using a correct ID, right? I'm just doing something. Now because these are required, so I'm just putting here some random things. Click me and it got submitted. So wrong ID, wrong email ID is also getting submitted, right? And you can see here that is getting submitted. Email equal to whatever value I've written, that is there, right? This is not a correct thing. So what you have to do, we have to put here, instead of text, we have to put email, because we have told them, the browser, that, hey, you have to only expect a text from the user. And that's what the user has done. So it's accepting that. But when you write email, what's going to happen? It's going to take only the email kind of format. So if I write here something, and now if I click me, it is saying please include an @ symbol in the email address. This is missing an @. So let's put an @. And now let's click me. So again, it is saying please enter a part following @. Have I written this code? Have I told him that, hey, give me this pop-up? No, right? It's happening automatically. So here they need something. I've written @gmail.com. Now if I click, it is submitted. Cool. So that's what is an email. Please let me know if you have not understood this. Okay. Pawan, you are talking about GSOC. Yeah, so that's an open source which I've told, where you can contribute to the community. Okay, if you have designed something, you can contribute that to the community, and you can also get benefited out of open source, right? So those are some open source areas where you can, if you have built some project, you can add it there. So just to show that, I've created this. Okay, Jamil Ahmed, you have asked a very big question. Sir, what is the difference between Node.js and React.js, and do they differ from the normal JS which you are teaching for front end, or they are different? Let's make it clear for you, okay? What JavaScript I am teaching right now, that is normal JavaScript, okay? Now using that JavaScript, some more libraries and frameworks are designed and developed, okay? So JavaScript is a very big thing. Using this big thing, using this big language, some more libraries and some more frameworks are created. Those frameworks and libraries are called as Express.js, Node.js, React.js, right? All those things. Wherever JS you can find, those are nothing but JavaScript libraries or frameworks. Vue.js, all those things. So when you are learning this JavaScript, which is a bigger thing, then is the time then you have to move to Angular, React, or something like that, because those are built using JS. So if you're understanding JS in the beginning, then only you will be able to understand Angular and React, because those are built using JS, right? Now, when you're asking the second question, you're asking what is the difference between Node.js and React.js? React.js is a library which we use to enhance our web page, to make it more creative, to make the UI very attractive. Okay, that's where we use our React.js. Suppose you want a drop down, suppose you want the drop down to be looking very amazing, so we use React libraries. Suppose you want routing in your program, in your application, so that the page doesn't reload every time. The page doesn't reload when you're clicking something in Amazon. If you click something, every time the page reload, right? But in YouTube, if you click something, the page doesn't reload, but still we are getting another page, right? If you observe what I'm saying. When you talk about Amazon, if you're clicking any of the department, right, the whole page reloads. But in YouTube, when you're clicking some of the component, if you click on it, the page doesn't get reloads. The only the inner part of the page gets changed, right? So there's a difference between these two things, right? So in those cases we use React.js, whereas Node.js is a different thing. Node.js is a backend language. It is considered as a backend language such as Java or Python. Okay, so Node.js is considered in the backend. React.js is considered in the front end. Angular and Vue also comes in the front end. Node.js and Express.js comes in the backend. If you know what is mean and MEAN, mean stack is MEAN. M means MongoDB, E means Express.js, A is AngularJS, and N is Node.js. So M means MongoDB, that is a database. So it will come inside database. Then E, right? Express.js, that's backend. A is AngularJS, so front end. N, Node.js, that's again backend. So that is what is called as mean stack. So if you know mean stack, you're working with a full stack development. MEAN stack is what? It's just that you are replacing A with R, right? So Angular with React, correct? That's what is the difference. So you are changing your front end framework. That's it. In mean and MEAN. In mean you're using Angular framework as a front end, and in MEAN you're using React as a front end. That's what is the difference. I hope you got cleared about this, right? So we have understood about email. Let's understand what is the next thing. So after username and password, after this, what we'll do, we will write something else. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this. And here I'm going to just write a label. To this label, again, I'm going to give for. I'm going to just give here file. Okay. I'm just giving a name. Understand there's just a name. And I'm going to give select or upload your resume. Okay, now what is this? We are understanding the file attribute. So if I write input here, in the type I'll be using file. Okay, because I want to browse some files from my system. So I'm going to click on ID, and in the ID I'm just going to write file because it should match with my for. And here I'm going to give name. To this also I'll write file. Okay, let's go back to my browser and let me show you my browser. Let's save this particular code. You can see upload your resume. Right now it says no file chosen. If you click on choose file, it will open me my particular folder. I don't know if you can see my folder, but it does open it. Okay, so you can choose any of the file and it's gonna give me that, hey, you have chosen this file. Okay, so let's say that I'm choosing index.html. So it says index.html, right? So you can choose any file from your browser and you can select it. Now you must have understood, if you have applied to any company, those companies are asking for you the resume, right? This is how you upload it. This is what they're using in their forms. And the similar way you must have seen in your college forms, right? If you have filled it online. So which one is more better, React or Angular? React is much more better because those are very small concepts, okay, and it's very easy to learn. The learning curve there is very easy, so anybody can learn directly very easily, right? I know Angular, so I know how big is it, how big framework is it, and to use that it's very easy because I know it. That's why I'm saying it is easy. But if you're a fresher and you start learning Angular, you will find a little bit of difficulty, not that much. And I'm saying this because I have learned it, so I know. So for me both is easy, Angular and React, because I know both. But yeah, React is more popular. Okay, so let's get going. Let's move to my code. I'm already in the code. Here I have understood type. I have understood the input type, which was file, right? So let's now understand something else. Let's understand what is month. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the same thing. I'm just going to change some of these things. Please do not worry about this for an ID. Okay, I'm just naming it anything. Even if you don't give it, nothing is going to happen, but it's a good habit to give it. Even if you don't give, it will work, right? So don't worry about that. In the type, what I'm going to use here is month. Okay, so let's understand what is month. Now it can be anything, right? It can be maybe resigning month. Company wants to know, or you wants to know the user resigning month. So let's say I'm putting that. Okay, resigning month, resigning month and year, right? Here, do not worry about this. I can remove it. Okay, resigning month and year, and let's save this. Let's see what is happening. Let's go to my browser. So resigning month and year, I can choose June month 2021. I can choose the year, whichever year, and I can write here July 2020. So month and year will be shown with the help of month attribute. Okay, the next thing, now this is really very interesting, and let me write the whole code for this, because here you can use a lot of things. I'm going to use label, and here I'm going to give, I'm not going to give any for or id, just keeping it simple. Input any number between 1 to 25. So I want my user to choose any number between 1 to 25. This question can be changed to anything else. You can, whatever you guys want in your form, you can put it like this. Right now, for just an example, I'm putting like this. So type, I'll give you a number, because the user has to put a number, right? Not a text. That's why I'm keeping it here as number. Now you can understand, if I give this, right? And if I save it, if I go to my browser, what I have given here, I have given enter any number between 1 to 5. So you can see -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, everything is coming, right? But it is going beyond 25 also. And if I click me, if I do submit this, then it gonna submit 32 also. But the question was only to input 1 to 25. So this is wrong, right? The writing, the UI is wrong. So what I have to do, I have to go back to my code. First of all, what I'm going to give, I'm going to give BR here, because there is no space there, right? And the next thing would, I think I have given BR in a wrong place. So here what I have to give, I have to give minimum value 1 and maximum value 25, so that there's a range which I have given here. So if I move to my browser now, this is gonna have 1. It's not going to give me -1, -2. And the maximum value will also go till only 25. It's not increasing. That's what is your number. Okay, so this is also one of the attribute. So let's understand some more attributes, some different attributes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this same code, and I'm going to write here this. Here what I'm going to give, I'll give here let's say marks. Okay, I'll write here in brackets between 1 to 50. Now here in type, I'm not going to give number, I'll give here range. Cool. So I've given here marks and I've given range, right? The minimum and maximum value will be, maximum will be 50, because I've given in the statement also 50. Let's understand what is the difference between these two. What is the difference between number and range? If I go back to my Chrome, you can see here what is range, right? So this is 1 to 50, right? But how you will understand what is which value? So this range is basically 1 to 50. So if I choose the highest, it's gonna give me 50. If I keep it in between, somewhere in the range of 25, 26, keep it here 1. So you can give a range, and range comes like this. Okay, but here you can select the numbers. That is what is the difference between number and range. Okay, let's move to the next one. You must have seen that many a times it gives you in the web page, right? Directly it gives you to search anything in the Google, right? So that also we can do. For that, what you have to do, I've written here for ID and all things, but please look at this one. Type equal to search, right? This is important. When you write type equal to search, it's gonna search whatever you want. So I'm saving this, going to my browser, search Google. So I can enter and it will search anything. Okay. Right now it is not submitting because I have to fill all of the things. But here you can click on search, and this is what is used in Google search also. In a more advanced way, they have used CSS and React. So this is how you can do it. That's what is your search. Any questions till now? You are great, sir. Thank you so much, Pranshu. I hope you guys are understanding everything. And please, if you guys are liking it, then please tell your friends, relatives also to come and watch this. They should also get benefited of this free course which is coming, right? And also understand that I'm not leaving any topic, right? I'm explaining every and each topics. Some topics are not given also in any tutorial, but I'm taking it because these are important. When I'll create the project, I will be using all of these things randomly. So to understand that, I have to make you understand these things. So that's why I'm doing it one by one. And I understand that you can learn this from anywhere, from any website. But what happens? Some people do not understand by using the website, and some people do not sit for long hours to learn from a website. They want to learn from somebody, right? And that's the case. I think you guys are here. Otherwise, you guys must have learned already something from the website. But when somebody teaches you, they teach you very nicely and very in a descriptive manner. That's why we are here, right? So that is all about Google search. What is after HTML and CSS, sir? Nikhil. So HTML and CSS, also JavaScript is also going on, which is 4 to 5 p.m. So we are currently completing and trying to complete as soon as possible HTML, CSS and JavaScript. After that, we have Bootstrap framework. The very first thing, Bootstrap framework, because that is very useful for creating a web page. So Bootstrap, and then next thing we'll either move to Angular or React. So I'm not sure which one, because we need your vote also. What do you want? So I am thinking of first Angular and then React, but you also tell me what you need and we will do that, right? But yeah, Bootstrap will be the next one. That is for sure. Fine. So let's understand the another thing. We have something called as telephone. Okay, suppose if you want to, if you want the user to give a mobile number, then where the user will put it, right? So let's understand how to write that. I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it here, and in this, let's say I'm putting a label, not going to give any for or something, just going to put here, enter your contact number. Okay, just this much. And then after this label, I'm going to put here input. In this input, I'm going to give the type as tel. Why tel? Why not number? Because see, you can put any number, but not 10-digit number, right? And when you're using text, in that also you can put 10-digit number, but that's not a valid thing because you're given type equal to text and you're putting a phone number there when you have already one telephone type to give, right? But here there's something which you need to understand. So let me show you how this appears when you're just directly writing something like this. So if I go to my browser, and if I save this, you can see here, enter a contact number, you can put any number, right? You can put any number. Is there any difference between this and text? In text also you can put anything. In here also it is giving anything. So what is the difference between type equal to tel? Now let's understand what is the difference. So basically when you're using type equal to tel, what you can do is you can give here a pattern. Now understand what is pattern. You know that every country is having different patterns of their mobile number, right? For us, what is the number that we have? 5 digits and then the next 5 digits, right? So something like the number is maybe 78765 and then a space and then again 53492, right? Something like that. So here we mention that pattern. How do we want the pattern to be? So let's say that I want first 0 to 9, any number, okay, and this will be 3 digits. This will be 3 digits. Then one dash should come, and after that again 0 to 9, any number user can take, and this should be only 2 digits. Then again one dash, and this time again 0 to 9, user can take any number, and again this should be 3 digits. So understand what kind of number I am writing here. I am writing first 3 digits. First number should be of 3 digits. From 0 to 9, any number you can choose. So let's say 145. Then I'll put a dash, then 2 digits, any number. So I can put here 45. Again a dash, 3 digits, any number. So I can put here 785. This is the only pattern which my telephone input box will take. This is the only pattern. So let me tell you how this works. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser. So now you can see what is happening. Here you have the enter your contact number. If I put anything, something like this, and if I click on submit, oh God, it says please match the requested format. It's not gonna submit till you match the requested format. What was my format? 124-52-125. Now if I do this, it is submitting. It got submitted, right? Similarly, if you want to write an Indian number, what you have to do here is you have to add here one plus sign. Cool. And then you want only 2 digits first of all, right? Then you need 5 digits, and then again you need 5 digits. Correct? Let's save this. Let's go back to my Chrome and let's write the number here. So plus 91, right? And then a dash 78542, a dash 5452. Giving anything, it is taking it, right? So that's how you have to put your patterns, and that's how your tell works. Okay, any questions? भैया माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का इंटरव्यू है, कुछ टिप्स दे दो. कैन यू टेल मी विच डोमेन हैव यू रिक्वेस्टेड फॉर, लाइक इन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट? कौन सा जॉब रोल में आपने इंटरव्यू देना है? प्लीज टेल मी. इफ यू आर फ्रेशर, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में आपने डायरेक्टली पुट ऑन किया पेपर्स एंड लाइक द रेज्यूमे, एंड इज इट एन SD रोल, राइट? बिकॉज थिंग्स डिफर. आई कैंट जस्ट टेल यू दैट ऑल द बेस्ट, राइट? So give me some detail. Himanshu Agarwal. Okay, so we have understood about tell. There are, let's see what all we have not seen, right? Let's see that. So I'm gonna just put here input, I'm gonna put here type, and let's see what all things we have not understood. Button we have seen, checkbox we have seen, color we have seen, date we have seen, date time local. Email we have seen, file we have seen, hidden will hide the data. Image, how to put an image, how we have done for file, the same thing we have done for image. Month, number, password, radio, range, reset we have seen, search we have seen, submit we have seen, tell we have seen. Okay, URL, week, time and text. These 4 we have to see, right? So let's understand first of all URL. What is this URL? Correct? So let's see how we can use URL. So here what we will do, we will close this. We will not give anything else, just that we will give the BR. And because we are requesting an URL, so I'll just put one label also. Even if you don't give the label tag, it's gonna work, so don't worry. Add your LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back to my browser and let me show you what is happening. Add your LinkedIn profile. You have to add a URL here. If I am writing just something, right? please enter a URL. So you have to enter a valid URL. You can't just put something like this. You have to enter a valid URL here. So you have to paste a LinkedIn profile URL of yours and you have to paste it, and then you will be able to submit your form, right? So that's what is URL. Understand, let's time. I think time you can also understand. It will give you the time. So I don't think you need an explanation here. But yeah, we need to understand week. So I think I've already covered the month part. Let's copy this month one and let's understand how this week works. Okay, paste it here. Let's say choose the week, and here I'm going to just write week. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser. So here it's coming, choose the week. So which week number? Is it week 39 from the whole year? Is it week 39 of which year? Is it week 35? Normally we don't use this because, you know, in registration forms you don't require week 35, but internally in a software development team, when you are creating an UI for any software, right, then this can be used, right? So it also depends on where you want to use it, how you want to use it. So don't worry about that. But yeah, most commonly every tag and attribute we have understood, right? We have seen many of the things here. We have seen all the tags and attributes. The tags which we have seen is select, input. Then we have also understood label, right? And then we have understood some attributes like for, type, ID, name, value. We have also understood how different types of type attributes are there, the different values of these: range, search, tell, URL, radio, checkbox, password, submit, reset, right? And also some more tags: data list, field set, legend. So a lot of things we have understood in these 2 hours. I hope you really enjoyed this session, and now is the time that we should create our project, right? So tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'm going to create one form project. We are going to create a login form or a registration form using these all things, and we'll also use CSS in that, because now you know what is CSS. So we'll use CSS as well in that, so that we create a full-fledged registration form or a login form using HTML and CSS, right? So that's what we are going to do in tomorrow's 8 p.m. session. Also, please make sure that you are following the JavaScript sessions. In JavaScript, we have reached till arrays. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm going to take strings. We are going to understand strings, and if time permits, we are also going to talk about array methods, right? So now I think it's already late now, so I'll end this session, and I hope you have understood all the forms. Please let me know if you have understood everything. All my dear students who are watching it from my first live session, please let me know if you have understood everything. Give me a thumbs up if you don't want to say anything, or give me something, some signs that you have understood all the things which I've talked about here, right? So please join the Telegram channel if you have not joined it yet, and also please hit like, as you know that you are understanding everything very clearly. So please bring some audience, bring some friends, bring some people who wants these sessions desperately. They want a job desperately. Please tell them to join, and hit the like button for this video. It will be really good for me and also for other people. Please share the video with everybody else, and also please subscribe to the channel so that you get notified about all the upcoming live sessions of mine. Okay, so tomorrow 4 p.m. be ready, tomorrow 8 p.m. be ready. Thank you so much. Tata, bye bye.